President Biden has officially signed legislation that says TikTok either has to be sold or be shut down within the next 12 months. The legislation is going to set up a massive legal battle, and the facts aren't on the government's side on this. You'd agree with this?
I agree that the facts are definitely not on the government's side. Look, this is something, obviously, we've seen it coming in slow motion, and we have dissected this from every angle. And I think the most important one is that the talking point about, oh, China could use this to get your data, even the government itself says that's literally never happened and probably will never happen.
And they say we have no evidence of it.
Right.
You would think if this was going on, the NSA or the FBI or the CIA might know about it. Look, this is just a product of the other tech companies saying, TikTok, we want you to go away. And there's really good information that points in that direction with Facebook or whatever they're called today, spending millions of dollars to try to make this happen, right?
Yeah, just in the first 3 months of this year, Meta, Mark Zuckerberg's Facebook, Instagram, all that, $7.6 million they spent on lobbying, more than they've ever spent in a single quarter. And even though they didn't specifically mention TikTok, they said they were lobbying on national security concern, basically all the same thing they're using to trash TikTok. So yes, I think at this point it is safe to say Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, is the driving force behind this ban.
He's hired a bunch of lobbyists. He's put millions of dollars into doing away with his competition because it would increase his business by something like 50%.
Yeah.
I mean, the numbers are staggering if he can do away with TikTok. And of course, Congress buys into it because they're getting a lot of money being spread around by Meta. But it's clearly, this is a jihad by Zuckerberg. I don't think there's any question about it. And so you look at this and the arguments are, well, we're doing this because we're worried about security. We're worried about this company finding out about your personal data. Like, really? Like it's not out there already? Like Meta doesn't already have it? I mean, come on.
Right. I mean, I've gotten multiple emails from AT&T in the last couple weeks letting me know that, hey, we had a big data breach. Your data was, accessed by outside individuals. So we have that happening with our companies here, either by selling it to people or by just not having security to protect their own platforms. So I'm not going to sit here and be worried about TikTok doing it when I'm getting emails every other week from American companies saying, oops, we accidentally gave your data away.
Right. Okay, so here's the argument. Simple, we're different. Instagram saying we're different. Can you identify anything that's different? Anything at all that's different about them spying on folks the same way that they're accusing TikTok of doing, processing their data, selling the data. They're doing everything, but we're saying, oh no, we're different. The only difference is that Zuckerberg has spread around more money than TikTok. That's all that's going on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Meta has all the money in the world that they want to spend, and they're using it. This is what lobbying is all about. If you have the most money, you're going to win the day.
Yeah.
And so now we have 170 million Americans that use this platform every month. They're going to have nowhere to go. And they will be forced to go to, Meta, Facebook, Instagram if they want to continue what they're doing. But TikTok is the number one source for news for people under the age of 30 in this country.
Okay, he signed the legislation. It's going to be months before anything happens. This will not stand, I promise you, will not stand scrutiny by the courts. It won't. They're going to say, well, if you're going to do this here, why not do it to Zuckerberg? Why not do it to Musk? Why not do it to everybody? If you're going to do this, do it with equal protection. Let's look at the equal protection clause of the Constitution. And there's no way they just simply say, yeah, we're going to do this because we're worried about TikTok doing everything else that all these other companies are doing. A new poll has found that Bobby Kennedy Jr. is taking a significant chunk of support away from Donald Trump. And Trump now has had a mental breakdown about the attacks from Bobby. First of all, you're seeing it every day. One day he's taken away from Trump. The next day he's taken away from Biden. And I heard the characterization, Bobby may be the last Democrat walking around right now. I've really literally heard that. And what they're saying is that, look, he's pushed back. He's trying to push back on the weapons industry. He's trying to push back on the drug pharmaceutical industry. He's trying to do something about the disaster that we're having with our, with the environment. He's trying to do some things that used to be Democratic issues that we cared about, and that the Democrats did something about. I say we. I'm not a Democrat, and I'm not a Republican. Make very clear that. But it sounded like those are issues that that people would have some appeal to on the Democratic side. But Trump's saying, "Hey, he's killing me."
Yeah, and this is very funny because to me, Trump right now has not a Bobby Kennedy problem. He's got a Hillary Clinton problem. Because think back to 2016, right? You had Hillary Clinton's people saying, "Hey, this Trump guy, he's got no shot. Let's hype him up and let's make him the guy. And then we'll easily beat him." And Trump's people, all his friends in conservative media, they've had Bobby on for months. It's basically the only networks that have had him on. MSNBC, CNN, they're not going anywhere near him.
No.
So you're making this case, you're bringing this guy on as a friend to talk to conservatives. So of course conservatives are going to look at it and be like, "Oh, this guy's not so bad. I like what he's saying. Sure, I think he's actually better than Trump now."
If the numbers show that he's hurting Trump, he will appear on MSNBC. He will appear on CNN. He will be every snowflake's favorite now. Who, by God, he's a nutcase, a vaxxer, and all this type of. All of a sudden, he'll become that Democratic hero. I don't think it's there yet. I think basically at the end of the day, he's going to take votes away from Biden. I really do believe that.
Here is where Bobby has a strength if he continues to make the inroads with the conservatives. And look, I'm not endorsing anybody here. I'm just taking off partisan blinders and just giving an analysis. If Bobby continues to eat away at Trump's support, Trump right now is in criminal trial. Polls are already showing if he gets a conviction on any part of this, he's in deep trouble with the voters. So if they're already moving to Bobby, that's Bobby's play. Sit there, wait for Donald Trump to do himself in, and then conservatives are going to say, "Well, I'm definitely not going to vote for Biden, but my guy is so bad. Wait a minute. There's this guy here." And I think that is strategically a very smart move for Bobby.
I think Bobby has planned that from the beginning.
Yeah.
To the truth. I think he's always thought this is the way it could happen. And so anyway, that's where we find ourselves. The troubling thing to me is, I don't know if you caught the family going to the White House and embracing Biden. You know what that's all about. It's Ethel Kennedy wants access. The Kennedys want access, the brothers and sisters. They want to be able to go to the White House and be in touch with that celebrity, that White House celebrity feeling. They want to go to the dinners. They want to go to the special events. To me, it's nauseating. It's absolutely nauseating that you would do that to your family. But, that's how people are, right? Farron, thanks for joining me. That's all for this week. But these segments are going to be posted right here on this channel in the coming weeks. So make sure you're subscribed. I'm Mike Papantonio, and this has been America's Lawyer, where we tell you the stories that corporate media won't tell you because their advertisers won't let them, or their political connections just don't allow for it. We'll see you next time.
That it had helped dirty money flow through its branches around the world, including at least 800...
Plaintiffs allege that the defendants provided money and medical goods to terrorist groups Hezbollah and Jaish al-Mahdi.
This is a well-organized business for these individuals that carry out these attacks. Terrorism is a business, and they run it like a business.
They knew about what was going on for a decade. They absolutely, no question about it, knew that HSBC was washing money. They had every reason to understand it was for terrorism and it was for drug cartels. Took no action whatsoever.
These banks are involved. Their accounts are connected, and they're using them to mask the transactions. The more complicated they can make the transactions, the more distance they can put between the bad guys and a seemingly legitimate purpose of these funds.
They pay $1.9 billion, which is a drop in the bucket compared to what they've made, and nobody goes to prison. These CEOs, these bankers that made this decision, they're safe at home. They know what they've done. It's resulted in the death of Americans, contractors and soldiers, not just hundreds, but thousands. And we look the other way because they don't look like criminals. The die is cast. The people that are responsible are on Wall Street.
And they don't look like criminals. It's almost a suspension of disbelief. Sometimes I'll have people call me and say, is this real? Do they really get away with this? Yeah, they do.